Welcome to Coffee Break with Rachel Vigil, taking a daily look at the biggest stories in Denver sports and interacting live with you, the Coffee Break fam. So sit back, relax, grab a cup of joe, and enjoy your coffee break. Here's your host, Rachel Vigil.
The Denver Broncos' new uniforms are finally here. It's been 27 years and we have been waiting. And surprisingly enough, I'm actually more of a Debbie Downer than this guy is, as we bring in our very own James Merilatt. I'm not exactly sure how I feel about these uniforms. I really, really like the throwbacks. We do have some pictures that we will share, but I know you're really high on this.
I love them. I love everything about them.
It never happens.
And I would have liked them to have switched the logo, but we all knew that wasn't happening. So it was like, okay, that was out of my mind. I think they're really sharp. I think they look great. I think they got rid of a couple of things about the old logo or the old uniform that were really dated. The swoosh down the pants was ridiculous.
Agreed.
And the font they used for the numbers was so 1997.
Yeah.
I think the new look it's modern while still having some homage to a classic look, right? I think it's going to age better than the ones they had. I love the different combinations. I love the orange pants. That's kind of a throwback to what they wore in the late 70s at times. So I think they're fantastic. I think they're great. And then the throwbacks, the 1977 throwbacks.
These are the coolest ones.
Amazing.
These are so cool. I am obsessed with these as well. There was a mock-up that somebody did like 4 or 5 years ago that looks very similar to this. And I'm kind of wondering if they were like, hey, can we pay you just a little bit for this?
It's amazing the people on the internet that come up with all these different uniform looks and stuff. Like there's some talented folks out there, but I think they're great. I think they're going to look super sharp. The only thing that I'm disappointed in is I just kept thinking like, God, how good would Russell Wilson look in these uniforms?
Of course you would say that.
He would look great.
Of course you would.
How good would 3 look in these? But other than that, I was super happy with it today. I thought the unveiling the Broncos did, the videos are fantastic. They're like a 2-minute Super Bowl commercial. They're so well done. So kudos to everybody over there. I think they hit a home run. I really do. And you're not going to make everybody happy. Nobody likes change. It's an impossible task, but I love them. I think they're going to look great. And I think it's a big, big, big improvement.
I think it's going to be so weird when they run out for the first time in them, right? You're so used to seeing one product every single time. And all of a sudden it's going to be like, wait a second, they look so different. Like they're different, but also very much the same.
It's not the change it was in 1997. Like I remember when that happened. I remember calling into the fan and trying to defend those changes, those new uniforms. I'm like, hey, it's a good look. It's time to turn the page. Those old ones were ones they lost 3 Super Bowls in, blah, blah, blah. I said something that got me hung up on, but really? Yeah.
Wait, that's incredible.
Yeah, those went over like a lead balloon. It's not as drastic of a change. I mean, that one, the big one was they went from an orange jersey to a navy blue jersey. Yeah. People didn't like that. I think these are great. I think people are going to love the different combinations. I think it's a ton of fun. And the throwback was a great way to keep the people who wanted the old logo and all the rest of that stuff, to keep those folks happy. It'll be interesting to see how much they play in the throwback.
I bet 1, maybe 2 games a year, right? Like the white jerseys we saw.
That'd be my guess.
I love them.
And back in the day when they ran, it was the 75th anniversary of the NFL. It was 1994. Then everybody wore their throwback uniforms. The Broncos wore the one with the horse on acid.
Yep.
And the 49ers had this different uniform, and they won in them, and they just started wearing them all the time, and they rode them all the way to the Super Bowl. Maybe they'll win in the throwbacks and they'll just keep wearing them. That's root for that if you like that one.
If I had to rank them, I would 100% go throwbacks number 1, orange number 2, white number 3, and midnight blue number 4. I do not like the midnight navy.
I don't like the blue on blue. No, I didn't like that in the old uniform.
It's too dark.
But I like the midnight blue. I like the dark blue. I'm a big fan of it. I think the mountains on the sleeves are cool. Yeah. Again, the number font is so much better. The name font, so much better. The little details, like the triangles and stuff.
Okay,
I like the little details.
Can I just be honest? That part's a little cheesy to me. Like the fact that it's super thick down at the bottom. Let me just pull one up real quick.
I think
it's super thick down at the bottom, and then it kind of disintegrates, quote unquote, up at the top because it's the elevation game and it gets harder to breathe at the top.
Well, the explanation,
the
explanations are always like, that's a stretch. Yeah. But the little elements are cool. those become the
cool.
things that kind of, put it over the top. I'm a little bit of a, I'm putting on my old marketing and ad agency hat, and I kind of being a design nerd here.
Yep.
I think it's great. And the way they presented them, again, the videos are awesome. The thing you just showed up on screen here with the explanation of all the little elements, it's just very well done. I'd give the Broncos an A+ with the whole thing today.
Do you like any of these better than the all white, like helmets and jerseys and stuff? I can't remember what they call them.
The snow cap?
Yes, thank you.
I like the snow cap. It's fine.
The snow cap too.
I thought Russ looked good in that. So no, I think it's great. I think
which quarterback is it going to be next wearing them?
Well, we're going to find out on Thursday. Did you see the new mock that had them trading up to number 3 and taking Jaden Daniels?
No.
Oh, it's Pro Football Focus. I would be so excited if that was the case.
Well, you saw JJ McCarthy's stock, right? It's like 11 to 1 odds to go number 2 overall. Last night it skyrocketed.
Yeah, which is Washington.
Yep.
So it would be the Broncos trading up to 3 with the Patriots. If you're going to go all in and make a big move,
do it for Jaden Daniels.
That's the guy to do it for, right?
100%.
I given what they gave up for Russ, what they gave up for Sean Payton, a big trade like that still is just like, man, at some point you can't keep mortgaging the future. If they did it for JJ McCarthy, if they do it for Jaden Daniels, I'll be doing cartwheels in the studio on Friday.
Everybody will be hyped.
That would be fantastic. So
totally with you.
It's going to be exciting. Obviously, Thursday can't get here soon enough. I'm kind of done talking about what they might do. Let's find out what they will do.
Oh, I'm so over talking about the draft. I mentioned it on Friday with Cecil. I was like, I'm over it. And the amount of DMs I got of people being like, me too. Like the mock drafts, I'm just sick of it. But that one got me a little excited.
We say we're sick of it. And we kind of are sick of it.
I'm kind of sick of it.
But hasn't it been a lot more fun than last April when the Broncos didn't have a first round pick? And it's just like, what does it matter?
It's a lot easier. I only had to worry about the Avs and Nuggets.
Thursday of the draft, like none of us even really had to work. We had to pay attention in case they made a move, but we knew they wouldn't.
Yeah.
But this year it's going to be like, all right, all hands on deck. We got a Nuggets game that night. We're going to divide and conquer. Like this is what we're here for.
See, and one of the perks of working in sports is this is an exciting time of the year because you have the draft, you have the playoffs. But I'm just like, okay, Saturday night we had the Nuggets. Sunday we had a terrible Avs game that I just want to ignore forever. Tonight we got a Nuggets game. Hopefully the Avs can bounce back. Wednesday I travel for the draft. Thursday draft. Friday draft. Saturday come back. Sunday Avs game at home. I'm like, holy
it's fantastic.
Smokes.
And I get it. When you're in the middle of it, like this week, that 8-day span is going to feel like it just is a grind. But
it's so fun.
When we get to July,
I know,
and there's nothing happening.
Thank goodness we're not talking Rockies.
We'll be wishing for this to happen. The only thing we've talked about the Rockies all year, well, that and a fan taking away a walk-off home run.
I did see that.
Dude, if you're a grown man, don't wear a glove to the game. If the guy would have tried to barehand it, okay, I have a little respect.
Yeah.
Don't wear the glove. If you're over 12, you can't wear a glove.
12? You would tell your 15-year-old son he can't wear a glove? Yeah. How old's your youngest? 12?
12. He could wear a glove.
He's still allowed?
Yeah.
Okay.
And like if we got out of the car and he had his glove, I'd be like, okay, he's fine. If any of the other two, I'd be like, nope.
Put it back.
Yep.
Walk all your way
Throw that back in
to
the car. You were not taking that in. Okay. So I blame whoever this guy went to the game with.
For letting
his
him walk
friends,
into it.
his wife, whoever.
Yeah.
Unless he went with an 8-year-old. I don't know why
and then
he was
stole
there.
The glove.
Yeah, I don't know what was going on. But that's like the only moment from the Rocky season any of us remember.
Yeah, true. Okay, do you want to talk about the bad team or the good team?
Let's start with the bad team. Get it out of the way.
I'm with you. The Avs end up losing 7-6 to the Winnipeg Jets in game 1. A huge bummer. I was personally disappointed. I thought after getting smashed 7-0 that they would come out a little bit more on fire. And I know that they did, but still it felt like there was zero trust in Georgiev. And I know everybody's putting the blame on him. The pucks have to get back to him for people to be able to score. There are other people involved in essentially the loss that they had. Offense was on fire, but defense, man, what the heck? You got Cale Makar and Devon Taves. You got two of the best. What is going on?
And look, and everybody's going to put it on the goaltender, and Georgie wasn't good.
He was
when you let 7 out of 23 past you, when your save percentage is under 70%,
bad.
It's a bad night. But the goal that I think kind of shows that it's not just a goaltender problem was, they get the back-to-back goals to go up 3-2, and then immediately give up the game-tying goal to make it 3-3. Georgia had no chance on that shot. It was literally right in front of him, right in front of the crease, and it was a crossing pass. Boom! Nobody makes that save.
Agreed.
So Patrick Waugh wouldn't have come close to making that save in his prime. it's like, what are the defensemen doing? They're not checking anybody. They're just letting the Jets just kind of do whatever they want in the offensive end. So that's what I was disappointed in. And I don't know if it's a game plan standpoint problem. I don't know if it's a mentality standpoint problem, but something was an issue. Yeah. And I don't want to put it all on Georgie. He has to be better. Has to be way better.
Yeah, agreed.
But yeah, Cale Makar, Devon Taves, the rest of the defensemen, you got to be much better.
Agreed. And my biggest thing with everybody on social media last night was, and don't get me wrong, if they change out the goaltender, they will win a game or two. Like, they will. And I have faith in this entire squad that they can be able to do that. I mean, they almost came back and tied it up last night once they pulled Georgie. But you gotta, like, the locker room just feels like something's missing. And I don't know what it is. And it just feels like there is no faith. And I don't know if it's Jared Bednar not listening to the quote unquote leaders in the locker room and saying that they want to change, but something feels really off when you look at this team on the ice. Like, it's the stars and then it's just the rest of the guys. And you got to have a good mesh when it comes to winning a Stanley Cup.
Well, and if you think back 2 years ago, it seemed like it was a different hero every night, right? It was Josh Manson. It was, guys that hadn't...
Arturi Lekanen.
Right. It was just names that a lot of people, and look, most people are kind of casual fans during the season, then get really into it in the playoffs. There were a lot of people that everybody was learning their names during that playoff run. Nobody did that last year in the first round loss to the Kraken. It was the three stars. It was McKinnon. It was Rantanen. It was Makar. That was it. Nobody else did anything, especially once Val disappeared. And it feels like that again this year. Agreed. It feels disjointed. And I hate to be, revisionist history guy or told you so guy, but you ask about what's missing. I think there are two things. One, the Avs couldn't control, and that's Gabe Landeskog. During that cup run, he was the guy, and you wouldn't expect it from kind of a star and from the captain. He was like the grinder that was always in front of the net, just causing traffic, just kind of being a pest. They miss his leadership. They miss him playing that role. And this is what I said when they decided not to give Nazem Kadri money. He brought swagger.
He did.
Right? Like, it's whatever game it was in St. Louis, he's getting death threats, and he goes out and puts up a hat trick.
I know.
Like,
he was so fun.
That's just the kind of moxie.
Yeah.
I mean, Nathan McKinnon has it, but he can only do so much.
Yeah. Nathan McKinnon's never going to be in the fights.
They need somebody else that just, and the thing about Kadri, and maybe somebody can step up and fill this role, but not only just producing and scoring goals and all the rest of that, but just kind of getting under everybody's skin.
Yep.
Right? Like, obviously the St. Louis fans took it way too far.
Agreed.
But the fact that he was that guy that they hated.
Yeah.
Who's the guy right now? If you're a Winnipeg fan, you're just like, I can't stand that guy for Colorado.
There's no one.
Nobody.
They're all
and that's
quote
a problem.
unquote good guys, right?
They're
a
problem.
All extremely talented, good guys. You're never gonna see them get in a fight or anything like that. Like, I saw Nathan McKinnon go up and he semi did a push because there were a ton of fights yesterday in the game. Like, these two teams clearly do not like each other. I think it's only gonna get more fun as the series goes on. But Nathan McKinnon's going to shove somebody. He's not going to get in a serious fight with anyone.
Nor should he. He shouldn't. Like, the last thing this team needs is Nathan McKinnon to get hurt throwing a punch. I mean,
fair.
Then it's.
But there is something about your star getting out there and being like, screw you. Like, let's go. And that was a game. They need
somebody to set the tone.
Yeah.
They're a little bit too nice.
Yeah.
I think to some extent their head coach is a little bit too nice. I think it was Adrian Dater today that tweeted, hey, if they lose in the first round, Jared Bednar's zero chance he gets fired. I'm like,
no. I'm even saying if they get bounced in the first round, something has to change. You're
2 years in a row,
wasting time.
That would be 3 second-round exits, 3 first-round exits, and a cup. Now, that's a big one.
Yep.
But in that 7-year run, you basically weren't a factor 6 out of 7 years.
Yeah.
With the best roster in hockey, other than the goaltender.
Yeah.
I get it, but
2 first-round exits with Nathan McKinnon, Cale Makar, Mikko Rantanen.
You follow up a Stanley Cup with first-round exit to the Kraken and the Jets, and you don't make a change? How do you tell your fans you don't care about winning without telling them you don't care about winning? Yep. Standing pat. That would be it. Now, we're a long way from that. I still think they're going to win the series. I do.
I have a weird feeling they're going to as well.
I think they win game 2. I think at some point it clicks for Georgie, and
I don't think give him some.
I think they give him some help. I think that he needs some help from his teammates. I think they win the series. I'm not pushing the panic button yet.
No, I'm not either.
They only got to win one up there. Let's get the split, come home, you're fine.
I do think Georgie's done. And I think if you're Jared Bednar, you have to read the room. They have zero faith in him. But you can't go back to him then. I mean, clearly they went back to him after Annunen did all right, and he still hasn't improved.
Yeah, but then what do you do if Annunen stinks in game 2?
You go find Matt Davis from the DU hockey team over there, please.
Get
and
the
thank
guy
you.
that's sitting in the stands, the emergency goaltender, just let him have a shot. It's not a good situation, but I think you play him in game 2. I think if he's bad again in game 2, then you got to win 4 out of 5. You're in panic mode. You have to make.
He lets in 2 goals. You pull him. 2 early goals. 2 goals.
If they're soft, yeah. I think you have. You know what? I think we found some middle ground there. I think he starts, but you have a quick hook.
Okay.
That's what I.
We can agree on that. Matt Davis, though, he did do the first shot for the Nuggets, which was really fun. He missed it. It was terrible. He didn't do any dribble or anything. He just took it and went.
Maybe that's like, don't get nervous. Just get up there and shoot it.
Right. It wasn't pretty, though. But the Nuggets obviously beat the Lakers. Game 1. The series is already over in my books. I think that LA will win a game in LA, but they can't come back here and win 4 games here in the Mile High City.
The series is tonight's the series. If
the
Nuggets win tonight, it's over.
You saw LeBron and the Lakers get tired.
It's over if the Nuggets win tonight. The Lakers aren't beating them 4 games out of 5.
Yeah.
But if the Lakers steal one tonight and it's a split, it gets interesting. I don't think the Nuggets are losing this series, but it gets interesting. And I wrote about this today at denversports.com. I think Michael Malone did a great job of managing what is a woeful bench. And he's going to have to walk that tightrope every single night of, how do I prevent it from just being a disaster when we have to put in backups?
Yeah.
And they weren't good. Every reserve, I think every reserve was in a negatives from a plus minus standpoint.
Yeah.
They were combined to minus 12.
Reggie Jackson,
but that's not terrible, the minus 12, because their starters are so good they can compensate for that.
Yeah.
They just can't be terrible. And he's got to figure out, okay, what's the mix tonight that isn't going to be terrible?
Mm-hmm.
He's going to have to manage it this year. Last year he didn't. And I joke about it that he just rolled out the balls and played the same 8 guys every game. Yeah. He did. And I never thought I'd miss Jeff Green, but I miss Jeff Green immensely. Bruce Brown was a huge loss. And then it was Christian Brown. Christian Brown's still there, but then it's like, it's a hodgepodge. It's Reggie.
Peyton Watson.
Peyton Watson played good defensively. Actually scored decent in the first half. Holiday was just, he didn't even get any time in the second half.
Yeah.
DeAndre Jordan is a bit of a tough watch.
DJ so much.
Do too, but come on. They have no depth from a size standpoint. None.
No. And they have to pray nobody gets hurt.
So it's going to be a little bit of I called it a tightrope. It's a high wire act that Michael Malone has to walk. So, and the starters just going to have to play a ton of minutes. They just are, which as the playoffs go on, you need to make sure these are short series.
Yep.
4 game, 5 game. Don't let these things go to 7 when they don't need to go to 7.
Agreed.
Because they'll get worn out by the time the finals roll around.
Agreed. Who impressed you more between Peyton Watson and Christian Brown?
Peyton Watson.
Me too. First of all, his maturity, and he understands his role for this team, which as a young player, sometimes I think you can get a little like, oh, I'm in the playoffs. I'm bougie. I'm cool. And his maturity of going up against LeBron, he's like, no, I understand my role in this. I'm like, that's good maturity for somebody who is so highly respected.
First playoff game, you're playing with the defending champs. You're playing against the Lakers, arguably the GOAT.
Yep.
He's at least in the conversation. That's a pretty big moment.
Yeah. And he's from California. And
he didn't seem fazed by it. Mm-mm. So, I was very impressed. And, last year, some guy, nobody went into the playoffs thinking Bruce Brown was going to be the hero he was. No. Do I think there's anybody on this bench that can turn into Bruce Brown? I don't. But last year, Christian Brown, at the parade, he was the superhero, right? He really had one really good game in the playoffs.
Yeah, he did.
The rest of it was a lot of 2 points, 0 points, kind of, playing a role.
Defensively, he played his role well.
I think Peyton Watson can be that guy this year where he's going to have 1 or 2 memorable games. Mm-hmm. And that's going to make us think he was fantastic throughout the playoffs. And he really wasn't. But again, that's what Michael Malone's got to find. Who's that guy? Last year, he knew Bruce Brown would be good every single night.
Yep.
He doesn't have a guy that's going to be good every single night. So he's got to figure out who's got it tonight and have a quick hook with those who don't.
Peyton Watson was entertaining in the locker room following the game, too, because he said that they saw how AD was guarding him, and him and Jamal locked eyes, and he said, okay, bet. And that's when he drained his first 3. And I was like, yeah, that's cool. Yeah. That's a cool moment. What do you think the Lakers are going to throw at Jokic tonight?
I don't know that they've got an answer. I really don't.
They do either.
I really don't. Darvin Ham was kind of coy in that, hey, we've got some adjustments.
It's fine.
We haven't used them all. I feel like that was the narrative all last year too during the Western Conference Finals was adjustments.
Yep.
And the Nuggets just came out like, fine, we'll do our thing because we have the best player in the world on our roster and everything goes through him.
Exactly.
And, Aaron Gordon, perfect guy to play with Jokic.
Yep.
Jamal Murray, he may get offended when people call him Bubble Murray or Playoff Murray, but to me, it's a compliment.
Yeah.
And Michael Porter Jr. has got a lot of stuff going on. He was pretty darn good. If Michael Porter Jr. plays well, the Nuggets are unbeatable.
Agreed.
They really are. So, obviously the things
off the
terrible
court
stuff, but you're rooting for him.
Yep.
And so it was nice to see him have a good game one.
No. Score prediction tonight?
I think it'll be very similar to game one. What was it? 114, 103?
Yep.
I think it'll be a little lower scoring. So I'm going to say like 104 to 98. I think it's a little closer too.
Okay. I was going to say 104. I'll change it just because you said that. I'll go 109, 99. I think it'll be a little bit closer, but just a little bit different.
Kind of gets to 10 late, even though it really isn't.
I'm just hoping I don't
some
need
late
to buy
free throws.
Popcorn tonight. That's what I'm hoping.
It's 8 o'clock, late start, right?
Yeah. So that means I'm getting popcorn around like 9:30, and I'm like, oh boy, and it's $8 popcorn.
That's halftime's my bedtime.
Right. I feel that, especially when you wait for Jokic to come out, and it's 1 a.m. So James, always a pleasure. Thank you on this Merilatt Monday. To all of you guys watching, thank you so much for hanging out with us every single day. Plenty of good stuff with the Broncos uniform. They have a presser at 3 o'clock. I will be down there, and then Nuggets tonight 8 p.m. So we will see you guys all later. Have a wonderful Monday, everybody. Bye.